Hi everyone, I'm Asha, an Akashic Records reader, blogger, and podcaster. In this series, we will demystify the Akashic Records by bringing to you bite-sized contents on frequently asked questions relating to the Akashic Records. We will also explore topics relating to spirituality, as well as practical application, learnings, and reflections in the Akashic Records. My Akashic Masters are very excited to join us in this journey. We send much love, light, and blessings to all. Welcome to Season 2, Episode 2 of an Akashic Light reading and healing session with Ron. Before we began, we tapped into the Akashic Records to see if there were any general messages for Ron. This was what came true. We know that you are struggling in your life right now, facing some obstacles. We want to let you know we are here to support you, to send you healing, to motivate you, to show you the direction in your life, the pathways you may consider. And we hope that this session may uplift you as much as possible. At the start, Ron shared that he wanted to clear blocks and remove negative energy, to which we clarified, do you want clarity on that, or is that something that we can do for the healing session later? Ron shared that he does not understand the difference. We elaborated on how an Akashic Light reading and healing session usually unfolds. What happens is that there is usually the channeling component, so clients will come with certain problems or situations they encounter, where they want practical advice from their masters. I will then provide the channel answers, and that comes with its own light codes. So the client receives something, some wisdom planted in them in this process. Then at the end of the channel session, we will have a healing session. So for whatever issues that arose, our intention is to send some healing to clear whatever blocks that are possible at this stage, and therefore create more space for the client for the next steps. We asked Ron on what is his intention for this session. Is he seeking clarity, or would he like to receive healing intuitively for the entire session? Ron shared that he is not sure, to which the masters shared that there is no right or wrong. We are not here to judge whatever you feel that you need right now. We are here to support you. Ron shared that he has three main things. That's the first one, and to him, the negative energy is the same thing as the blocks. The second one would be that once in a while, he self-sabotages, and he wants to stop doing that. On this query, we ask, is there any specific instance, or you think in all cases, there's a general trend of you self-sabotaging that you want to know the root cause? Ron shared that sometimes it comes with important things in life, as with personal relationships that happened a few times in the past few years. And in his professional life, it does occur when he does a job application or an interview. That's much rarer, but it has happened. So these are the two situations he can think of. On the third thing, Ron shared that he grew up in a toxic or unhealthy household. He moved away to go to college when he was 18, and that helped. When he was in his mid-20s, he relocated to a different region, And so physically being separated from those people and communicating with them much less helped him tremendously. As far as he knows, he got it mostly out of his system. However, when COVID happened, he had to return for 1 year, where he was constantly surrounded by these people. After that 1 year, he returned to where he relocated, but he felt like he brought these issues back with him, which means, without any effort, they had influenced him. So he was becoming more reactive, more aggravated easily, not as patient as he used to be. If he did lose his patience, he would literally project them, which means he would, without thinking, use the angry words, which would come out from his mouth. So he has worked hard to get rid of that for the past 2 years. He feels like it's about gone, and he would like to ensure that it's gone and continue on that path. And unless he has the ultimate test, he wouldn't know, right? After Ron's sharing, the master said that the third issue would be addressed first. So we tune in to see what the masters say on family relationships. On Ron's third query, have the dense energies and emotions that I have taken on from my toxic family members completely left me? First, the family relationship is a very tricky relationship and dynamic that your soul consciously chose at birth, because your soul felt back then that you were brave and resilient to change the family patterns in this entire family line. So that's what you wanted to do. You wanted to be the one that start creating new ways, new ripples of change, starting from you, through the inner work that you will cultivate on yourself, and to create that positive ripple down both family lines. So that's what your soul consciously chose. And that's why, at birth and when growing up, you felt like a complete misfit to your family, because you were never meant to integrate with them in terms of the similar mindset, personality, character, value systems. You were not meant to be the same, because you were there to demonstrate a new way of living, thinking, feeling, and behaving. So your soul consciously chose to be that first change to set about ways of positive changes down these family lines. And the family patterns, the negative patterns, are very entrenched right now. It is deeply locked within every member that this is how things should be done, this is how we should behave, etc. So what happened was, when you spent your time with them, it was a clash, because you were a complete misfit to your family lines. But at the same time, you need to know that there is a higher divine reason why you are meant to be different. You chose to be different because you are the one that will create that change in your life. When you moved to a different region, that was a temporary change for you to physically distance yourself from them. The intention right now for you is to make the most out of this physical separation that you have with them. So you're not close to their energy fields, to do something to rewire the karmic patterns in your family line. Your team is suggesting that you may want to consider doing some karmic clearing that can help you to clear or start working deeply on the karmic issues for both family lines while you are physically separate from them. And this is actually aligned to what your soul consciously chose at birth, to be the one to create the positive ripples of change. So the team now sees that this is an opportunity for you to start doing the work that you promised to do for these family lines. Another thing is that you are a very sensitive soul. So that's why it is easy for you to take on the negative energies very easily. And unknowingly, unconsciously, you absorb like a sponge. Even if others don't say a single word to you, the fact that you spend time in close proximity to them, it is easy for you to take on the dense thoughts from them. It is not just your family members you have an issue with. Sometimes in certain, stressful situations, when there are others displaying negative, toxic emotions, you tend to feel it heavily within yourself and take them all back home. The problem is that you are unable to process these energies, these emotions in a healthy way. That's why you feel that it is lodged within you. So what's the suggestion for you? The suggestion is for you to do energy clearing. One protocol that we suggest is you can consider doing Akashic Records meditations for a start. For example, in my YouTube or podcast, I do upload free Akashic Records meditations. And in all these meditations, there is a common thread. We will always make sure that we are connected to the central pillar of light. So imagine your own body like a tree of life, and we are covered by the central pillar of light from the central sun, all the way to our entire being, and then anchored deeply to Mother Earth. So by this practice of connecting to the central pillar of light every day, you will slowly learn how to purge all these energies and emotions that don't belong to you, that are not meant to stay. So what we can do is to start off with free Akashic Records meditations to open your mind on the world of the Akashic Records. Try it for yourself, test it out for yourself, and see how you feel before and after the meditation. So, let yourself be your own judge. If you feel fully convinced that the Akashic Records meditations work for you, the next step for you is to deepen your healing. You can consider, for example, working on a personalized meditation for yourself based on your current set of issues, and/or go and learn how to access your own Akashic Records so you become your own healer. So these are the suggestions they want you to bear in mind. And this is something that you are empowered to heal for yourself. And importantly, these tricky family dynamics, painful and stressful as it may be, it is what we consciously chose because our soul wanted to liberate the family members from the negative entrenched patterns, and you want to be the first wave of change for them. How to completely eradicate this issue? Like what we have said, those methods, those suggestions are for you to consider and implement. First, the karmic clearing for the family lines. I can send you the contact to consider. Second, for yourself to maintain your energy fields every day, to learn the techniques of how to get rid of these difficult, painful, dense energies and emotions that you take on, but you don't know how to discharge. So the Akashic Records meditations will be an effective way for you to learn the basic techniques of how to get rid of these emotions and transmute them, because they're not yours to begin with. Third, if you are convinced yourself by the effectiveness of the Akashic Records meditation, you may want to take a step further. Then we might want to work either on a personalized Akashic Records meditation for your needs, and/or you go and learn the Akashic Records course yourself. Again, I can provide the contact. It is a step-by-step process, and of course, you have to be convinced yourself to take them up. On this family wound that you brought up, they say it is like ancestral patterning. It is something that is also entrenched in this family line. So it is an issue that you will have to tackle as you work on karma clearing for the family lines. They want to explain that what does it mean by karma clearing? Karma clearing doesn't mean going for a session and 100% karma all clear. What happens is that depending on what's aligned to your highest good, there will be a certain degree of karmic grace and dispensation by a team called the Lords of Karma. Who are they? They are ascended masters with the added portfolio on this karmic grace and dispensation. So then, what happens is that they will take out a certain percentage in your energy fields. And what's the intention of that? That is to create space within your own energy fields for you to fully process what is the lesson that then comes up for you for this ancestral line that needs to be learned by your side. For example, more forgiveness, more love, more practicing of the observer or neutral perspective while you witness the family members going through their own lessons. So, for example, if we conduct a karmic clearing session, what happens is that over a few weeks or even months, you will start noticing changes in family members' behavior. You might even see more triggers coming up for them. Things might become amplified. And what happens is that it is not that more negative karma was created. It is precisely because a certain degree of negative karma was taken out that these lessons then surface for the souls to internalize. And then they want you at that stage to consider what is your role in this relationship. What is the lesson that is being called to you right now for each of your family member, for you to practice with each family member? It might be forgiveness that needs to come up. It might be inner child healing that you need to work on for whatever that they have hurt or betrayed or harmed you in the past. So things like that will surface more intensely after each karma clearing session. On Ron's second query, he asked, once in a while, I self-sabotage, and I want to stop doing that. On your question of why you self-sabotage in the important things in life, they say that the root issue is that a part of you feels unworthy or undeserving of good things in life. That's why when it comes to you, a part of you feels cautious and guarded. It is as if it is too good to be true. And then the mind might then kick in a fuss to try to block this out from you with the intention to protect you, to create this safety barrier for you. But what happens is that this then perpetuates a negative cycle where you realize that somehow, whenever seemingly good things come near to you, it may not be easy for you to receive. There's a part of you that wants to push it out because you want to protect yourself. You want to protect yourself from harm because you feel that it is unsafe. It is as if it is too good to be true. And they want to link this back to the inner child healing that you need to work on. All the inner child wounds that you sustained when you were young, that made you believe that you are undeserving of love, undeserving or unworthy of good things in life. So that's why whenever such things come, you become more cautious and even a little pessimistic, as if it's not meant for you. They're also saying the word imposter syndrome, that if the good things come, it is as if it is not meant for you. You're creating a fake persona to take it. It's not yours, something like that. And that is all the inner child healing that you need to unravel. So, how to go about with the inner child healing? There are two ways that they suggest. The first way is through mindful journaling. So what they suggest for you is to find some quiet time every day, every night. Have a journal and write your childhood experiences as you can recall, or you can vaguely recall. They are saying that a part of you have suppressed it to the extent that there might even be amnesia. So you might want to just gently go through this process of remembering your childhood. And the intention is not for you to perpetuate the negative emotions and feel upset all over again. The intention is for you to lift up the carpet, look at your own baggage that is already there for decades, and do something to help yourself. They're saying that everybody has moved on in different phases of their life, and it is time for you to face these wounds directly to heal. On the conscious level, We might be operating in our daily lives as usual. We might not really know what's going on, but we feel these triggers coming in. We see these negative patterns coming in. We don't know why. But on the subconscious level, these are all still present. These issues are all present for you to handle. Write it down with the intention to heal, to release. In your own journal as well, to note the people you want to forgive, to note the specific incidents you want to forgive. And if you feel it is helpful, to write a letter to these people. You don't need to send a letter to them. You just need to write that letter to address what is unhealed within you. It might be a letter where you noted the past as it has happened, how it has affected you, and how you chose to forgive them, or what were the lessons you have learned nonetheless. Because you have reached a stage in your life that there's no need to keep ruminating in this. But at the same time, it is stuck within your system. You need to get it out. Then the second point is that when you face all these inner child wounds, sometimes even after writing, you may have problems fully clearing them out. So what then do you do? They suggest you can consider doing an inner child healing meditation for you to go more in depth with your inner child. Inner child can be from the age of 0 to 12, or sometimes even longer, teenage years. You can connect to specific ages, depending on what issues come up for you, with the intention to heal. So for the inner child healing meditations, you have a few options. For example, it is easy for you to find free inner child healing meditations online. You can try that. The main idea will be to visualize yourself going to a deeper state of awareness where you connect to a part of you of a certain age, and then with the intention to bond with the child, to speak to yourself then, and to heal certain experiences. The second way is, I do recall I have an Akashic Records meditation on clearing some issues. Another way is for you to set the intention and connect to the inner child yourself. Because what they are saying is that you are also empowered yourself to connect to a part of yourself. You don't really need an external tool or modality to connect with yourself. So the intention suffices. Getting into a quiet state, set the intention. This is the child you want to connect yourself at the age of whatever. And then you count yourself slowly down from 10 to 1, slowly going to a deep state, and then just connecting with yourself. On Ron's first query, he asked, I wanted to clear blocks and remove negative energy. Based on the earlier two issues that you shared, I get the idea that what you need is to connect to the light. Remove those energies and emotions that are not even yours to begin with, so that you then learn a technique of how to remove it. We can do that so that you can get some idea. After that, we can do a sweeping of your auric fields to clear whatever others have coded onto you unknowingly. And then, the inner child healing that we can attempt to try. Ron agreed with the healing suggested, and we went ahead with that. For the clearing session, you can either sit down or lie down, depending on your comfort level. Videos on or off, depending on your own comfort level. The energy still work regardless. As we go into the meditation, I'll just see what comes up. Just enjoy yourself. People have preconceived notions about meditations, that you have to do this, do that, but it's not really important. Just get yourself comfortable and receive. We went through a guided meditation where we called upon Ron's divine presence, angelic team, galactic team, Egyptian gods and goddesses, archangels, and all other pure light beings of the highest light and resonance to surround him. We connected to the central pillar of light that anchors deeply into the heart of Mother Earth, as well as the central sun. We called in the energies of peace and stillness in the Akashic Records to flow into Ron's energy fields, calming everything down. We invited Archangel Michael to cut away all unnecessary cords that Ron has taken on from others or others have projected onto him that are not aligned to his highest good, removing all these cords from his energy fields and physical body. We called in Ron's loss of karma to clear all unnecessary hooks, imprints, negative, dense or discordant energies and emotions, clearing and purging them from his energy bodies. It is a general clearing to create more space within him. We called in the violet flame to sweep through Ron's energy fields 7 times, facilitating a purging of all remaining dense and discordant energies and emotions within him. We welcome in Egyptian goddess Hathor, who is the goddess of love, and she surrounded us together with the angels of love. She radiated her energies of divine love slowly and gently to Ron's heart space, inviting him to breathe and receive. We allowed the divine love to flow into each chamber of his heart space, where some dense emotions leave from the back and sides of his heart, the parts of him that feel alone, misunderstood, and confused. Divine love then overflowed to Ron's throat, helping him over time to find the confidence to radiate his true power and expression in life, to authentically be himself without fear of judgment. Divine love then flows into Ron's head, ears, jaws, nose, eyes, and brain. Allow divine love to calm down his nervous system and to balance both hemispheres of his brain. As divine love flows down Ron's spine, It facilitates the purging of stagnant and dense emotions lodged in his spine, releasing them from the base of his spine. We allow divine love to flow into Ron's kidneys and adrenal glands. Divine love then overflows to the front part of Ron's body, his stomach and intestines, his digestive system, calming his digestive system down, regulating the stress within, sending love to the nervousness, anxiety, pent-up stress, and emotions. We send divine love to Ron's liver and spleen, transmuting anger and worries. We send divine love to Ron's solar plexus chakra, where his inner children reside, sending a wave of divine love to all inner children who were there. The angels of love stepped forward, and each of them held each child and gently radiated divine love to them, reminding them that it is safe to heal now, and welcoming them to work together in the days ahead to gently release what is holding them back. We invited those inner children who were ready to go to the light with the angels, to go with the angels, where they would receive deeper healing and merge back with Ron whenever they are ready. We allow divine love to flow into all cells of Ron's body, organs, and systems, all layers of his energy bodies and auric fields. We welcome in Ron's guardian dragons, who wanted to do a general cleansing through his energy fields, unlocking him from people's drama and energies. This will help to create more clarity within and allow him to feel what's his energies versus what's other people's energies that he has taken on. They did a clearing from the back of his head, helping him to ascertain the beliefs of others, his own beliefs tainted by the beliefs of others, and so on. They also did a clearing in his spine as well. We invited the gold light in the Akashic Records to flow abundantly into Ron's energy fields, patching all holes, rips, and tears in his auric fields, filling him up with divine light. We invited a callback of all of Ron's personal power, energy, soul parts, soul fragments, soul aspects that he may have given away or taken away from him or stuck in time and space across all lifetimes, realities, dimensions, time and space to return to him. Thank you for tuning in to this podcast. If you would like to read about my dialogues and reflections with the Akashic Masters, you can visit my free blog at Asha-AkashicRecords.com. Till next time, take care.